on, we are going to switch gears a little bit and we're going to talk about CPT. Okay? So CPT is current procedural terminology. So remember I said ICD was the why, right? This is the what. What? This is what we did, okay? This is procedures and services. You can just think these have dollar amounts attached to them, okay? So I submit a claim. I say that you had an office visit and an x-ray, okay? These come out of here. Then I add an ICD code for why you had an office visit and an x-ray. Okay?
Okay.
You had an office visit and an x-ray because you had a sore wrist. Okay? Those things go together. Okay? When I first started coding, I thought ICD coding was easier than CPT. But the more I knew about it, the more complicated it got. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does.
I was like, God! Okay, so CPT is, here's why at first it seems a little trickier, because here I go to the condition or the disease, and I know that's where I need to start looking, and it's not quite as straightforward here. There's so many more ways you can figure out where you're going to go. And once you can figure out the layout of the book, you don't have to use the indexes much either. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it gets a little bit easier. So we're going to kind of walk through some of the trickier stuff in here. And I'm going to try to get done with that in about an hour, and then we'll work on some practice questions for the last part. Does that sound good? I'm going to do my best. Do my best. Okay, so CPT, what we did, procedures and services, and there's dollar amounts attached to them. Okay? These are developed by the American Medical Association. They are copyrighted. So you can see it says AMA down here on the bottom, right? Okay. They own these. I can't just say this is Jen's CPT book, okay? Because I'd get sued. All right, they own these codes. So these come from the American Medical Association. These are professional services. You'll notice it also says professional on it, right? Okay, so these are the services that clinicians, or these codes are what clinicians use to charge with, okay? Not necessarily a physician, but even a chiropractor, a physical therapist, massage therapist, if they're able to charge, those kinds of codes come out here. So once again, remember I said earlier that coding is coding. They come out with ICD-15, who cares? Okay, it's the same kind of idea using the manual. You look it up alphabetically, which is in the back, okay? Then you look at it numerically. It's the same process, okay? Here's where I see people get confused, and I've done it myself, even if I'm like really tired. I'm like looking for a code. I'm like, where's the dumb code? I'm like, oh, I'm in the wrong manual. Probably be helpful. Find a CPT code in the CPT manual, not the ICD-10 manual. So, you know, it's just easy to get flustered. But, you know, just remember, this is what we did. These are physical things we did. Okay? All right. So if you open your CPT manual, just any page, it doesn't really matter. I want you to look along the bottom here. There's a little like legend. We've got some symbols there to be aware of. A bullet is going to be a new code. So these are updated annually, guys. Okay. So there might be 500 change. There's about 8,000-ish CPT codes. There might be 500 changes, maybe on average a year, meaning they've added codes, they've deleted codes, they've changed the description of some of the codes, stuff like that. Sometimes there's procedures people just don't do anymore. enough to even warrant it being in there. Or there's a new procedure that people are doing enough that they want to make it a permanent code.
Okay.
Like, example would be like a laparoscopic hernia repair. For a long time, not very many people were doing it because it wasn't very effective. That people's hernias were popping back out, you know, and so they, it's become a lot more effective now. More providers are doing it, so it's part of the code set now. Okay. A triangle is a revised code. Horizontal triangles, it indicates the text changes in a revised code, and I'll show you what I mean. So say there's code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then here's the description, and they change something in that description. They're gonna put those little triangles around what's changed in that text, so you know it's different from last year. A plus sign is an add-on code, and I'm gonna show you an example of what that means. You cannot use those alone. They're never used by themselves. And then you have a null sign, which means modifier 51 exempt, and I'll show you, we'll talk about modifiers. But if you can't remember what the little symbols mean, they're along the bottom of your book, so you can find it then, right? Okay? All right, let's see. So the sections that we have in CPT, we've got evaluation and management, we're going to talk about that last. You've got codes for anesthesia, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through some highlights in each of these sections, okay? I've got some tips and tricks for some of them too. You have surgery section, which is the largest section. Here's sometimes where people get confused about the surgery section. There's a lot more that falls into the term surgery. When I think of surgery, I think of like operations, you know. Getting stitches is surgery. Getting a cast put on is in the surgical section. You know, getting, you know, just all, it's basically invasive procedure, even though casting isn't really invasive, but for the most part, you know, it's those kinds of procedures. So it's anything from getting a sticker pulled out to heart-lung transplants. Okay, so it's a really broad section, and then it's subdivided anatomically. Okay, so it goes through the body systems. All right. You have codes for radiology, path and lab, and then the medicine section. So basically, your medicine section is not medicine. No, it's basically it's therapeutic and non-invasive services. So things like chiropractic is in there, EKGs, immunization administration, psychotherapy services.
Does like Holter monitors be under that?
Yes, those are. Because here's where cardio coding can be so tricky, because you can find it in 3 sections. You can find it in surgery, and then you can find it in the medicine section, and then in the radiology section, there's another section for it too. So it can be confusing. I say hooray to the cardiology coders, because that's not something I want to do. Okay. No, you can make big bucks if you're good at it, though. And you know, if you do something every day, you do get good at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, I have a friend who does oncology coding, and it's very complicated, but it's what she does, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and so she, you know, she knows what she needs to do. Okay. So, the format of the CPT book, so in the ICD-9 book, your guidelines are all at the beginning, right? CPTs, they're kind of, you get notes all over the place. One thing too, I want you to keep in mind, guys, for your CPC exam, you can write in your coding manuals. You can make notes in there. I mean, I wouldn't, you're probably gonna get in trouble if you make like pages and pages of notes or something like that, but you can make notations in there. You can't staple anything.